Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic related to Angular Directive, where we will learn how to use @if and @else directive in Angular. Prior to this session, we discussed about @if, or you can say @if directive. In this session, we are going to continue and we are going to learn about the else directive as well. Okay. So in this session, by the end of this session, we will be able to understand why do we need @if else directive, okay, and also not if else, @if and @else directive, okay, and also we will build one example from scratch itself to understand its complex, to understand its logic and to verify the output, okay. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use Angular Directive, if and else. Another very important thing, that these directives are only applicable for the version 17 plus. That means if your Angular is older than 17 version, then it will cause errors, it will not work, right? So to implement this thing, you need at least Angular 17 plus version. Clear? Fine. So I think now we are good with the agenda. We know what we are going to build today and what we are going to learn today. So I think now we are good to start with the session. And firstly, we are going to proceed in the very similar way. Firstly, I'll explain you the prerequisites modules. We will see if there is any need of importing any module or not, because in case of ngIf, we imported common module, but here the thing is different, okay. So that we will discuss. After that, I'll show you some of the variables that we are going to use for this example to demonstrate the concept of if and else. And once it is declared, then we will write the logic from scratch, and later on in the output we will verify the output as well, okay. All right, so let's get started. And today firstly we will go for app.component.ts file. In this file, usually we import common module, whether it's about *ngIf, ngFor, ngSwitch, any directive, right? But the good thing about @if and @else is that there is no need to import any kind of module, okay. Everything comes by default. There is no need to import any directive for using this @if and @if else, okay. So this is the one of the best thing about this directive, and this is sometime interview question as well. Sometime you might be asked with this question, do we really need the any common module or any other module to use the @if or @else? So you can simply say no, there is no need. In case of ngIf, yes, there is a need, but in case of @if, there is no need, okay. Fine. So this thing is clear. Now what we will do, we will understand the requirement. So requirement is that firstly I'll declare one variable here. So let's declare the variable in the class. Here we will write is logged in, okay. So this variable will help us to understand whether the user is logged in into the system or not. So here I will write, for example, yes. Now some of you might be thinking in earlier session we were using the boolean value, then why we are using string value here? Because I want to show you the else part. And in case of a boolean, we know that only two values are possible, if or true or false, right? But here you can also create other values, it would be yes or no, or maybe we can change to any invalid input as well, okay. So for that purpose, I declared the variable in string, and you can see is logged in is currently holding yes. All right, so let's go to app.component.html file. Here you can see one heading is already coming as Angular Directive demo by Tech Sharmit. We will add another heading here, and in this heading we will write if else else directive in Angular, okay. So this is our second definition, second heading, okay. Post that, what we will do, we will build the logic. Now I want to show a message of welcome if the user is logged in. So in that case, what we will do, we will use here @if. Okay, and this is case sensitive. Okay, so make sure that you are writing everything in the same case. So @if, then parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis we will use the variable is logged in. We will check if it is equal to yes. So you need to write this 3 equals to, then yes, then opening and closing curly braces. Inside this, whatever you will write will be executed only if is logged in value is true. So here we will put the message welcome to the Sharmit dashboard. So this is the message which I want to show to user if user is logged in. So let's verify that if it is working perfectly or not. So for that we will write here ngserve -open, then enter. It will take few seconds and then it will show you the output, and if there is any error it will throw the error as well. So let's see. Yeah, so we can see the first heading is coming as Angular Directive demo by Sharmit. Second heading shows if else directive Angular, and then we have third one which shows welcome to the Sharmit dashboard. And why it is coming? Because here we are using the yes, and the value is also matched with yes. Okay, so let's say if the value in the TS file we change it to no, so in that case what will happen? As of now it will do nothing. Why? Because we have not implemented that part. So to implement that part, what we can do, we can simply show one message here. In case of else, we will write like this, and there is no need to put any condition in case of else. You just need to write curly braces and then you can put the message. So here I want to show one message, you are not logged in, and then I can show please log in to proceed further. So this message I want to show to user if user is not logged in. Okay, so in this situation you can see you are not logged in, please log in to proceed further. Okay, so this is how you can implement the else part. Now the question is, like earlier also we were able to check it through if, but that is not the right approach, right? Because in case of else, it doesn't matter if it is no or anything. Instead of no, let's say if you are holding any other value, for example ABC also, so in that case also it will show you this message only, you are not logged in, please log in to proceed further. Why? Because else means apart from like we are checking for yes. If it is not yes, and apart from this whatever value it is holding doesn't matter, it will show only this message, you are not logged in, please log in into proceed further. Clear? So this is the concept of if and else. I'm sure like you already know about the if else condition very well. You are here just to learn about the syntax and structure. So this is the structure, and now you can see it is very optimized way of coding. With this feature of Angular 17 plus version, you can implement if else condition in a very simpler way. Why? Because first thing, there is no need to implement there is no need to import any module. That is a fact, right? We saw that there is no need to import any common module or any module. Second thing, the syntax is very simple and straightforward. That is also true, because here you just need to write if, then the condition, and after condition in a curly braces you can put whatever logic. Right now we are just printing the message only, but you can put any logic which you want to execute. Okay, similarly in case of else also, in case of else you just need to write else, then curly braces, and inside that you can put the message. In case of else, there is no need to write further logic to check. Clear? Now apart from these two directives, there is one more directive, that is else if. In case of ngIf, if you remember, I told you that there is no else if, right? But here in case of @if and @else, there is a else if part also, that we will be discussing in the next session. Okay, so we will build another example where we will try to understand if else logic. Clear? So I hope today's session is clear to all of you, and in the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.